My name is Kat Albrecht, and I'm the founder of Missing Pet Partnership. Today I'm going to talk to you about lost pet posters and how to properly post a poster. Our website has information under our recovery tips titled under 5 + 5 + 55 posters. What that means is that you want to use 5 words that people can read in 5 seconds when traveling 55 miles per hour. Hopefully in a lot of cases when you're posting a poster, people aren't going to be driving that fast, but there will be rural areas where you need to capture the attention of drivers and in a very brief amount of time get the information about your missing pet out. If I were to say gray tabby blue harness, you would be able to picture what that looks like in your mind, a gray tabby cat wearing a blue harness. At Missing Pet Partnership, we highly recommend that you create these large size poster boards. You can get these at a lot of the office supply stores. We use stencils where we paint reward lost cat or reward lost dog, but you can in large letters write the same information. Use 2 sheet protectors face down so that if it rains, that it won't get into and cause your flyer to run. But you can use a large blown up photograph of the pet on one side and then the text information with your phone number. If it's a lost dog, you can also, that's skittish in nature, you could put skittish, don't chase, or extra information that you can also tape with clear packing tape to cover up this area. One thing that we're going to show right now is how to affix this to a pole. So we're going to get a little camera movement here, but I'm going to have we're going to come back over here to the back side here so you can see how I taped it. What I did initially, as I go get some ice cream, is I initially took clear packing tape, but this is a concrete pole, and the same thing would probably happen on a metal pole, that it would just fall down. But I managed to use clear packing tape initially to temporarily secure the poster on. And one way that I do that is I start the tape on the front and then I run it into the crease in the back behind the poster, and we'll show you that close up in just a moment as I begin using the duct tape. But I did this temporarily with packing tape, and now I'm going to get started to affix this on a more permanent level so that it will survive through rain. And we have a picture of this on our 5 + 5 + 55 poster page where you can see another example of it being duct taped like this. But what I want to do is begin the process of duct taping the poster to the pole. Now the thing you need to keep in mind is there's a lot of cities that have an anti-sign ordinance, and you would not be able to do this. So this is a method you would use, and we'll show you another method that if you have sign ordinance that you would get fined for putting a poster on a pole. We're going to show you another method to use. One of the things that a lot of people that contact Missing Pet Partnership think and believe is that they need a search dog to track down their missing dog or cat. Now, we do have some pet detectives on our website. There's a link on our website on missingpetpartnership.org under Find a Pet Detective. There's a link that says National Directory. And under that National Directory, you'll find some pet detectives that we've trained that are across the country. Some of them have search dogs. But not always is the answer to your missing pet going to be a search dog. They have worked many marvelous cases, but there's many cases where a search dog is not appropriate. There are many cases where simply putting a correct type of poster in the correct location is what you need to get the information out there that your pet is missing. So we just encourage you to make sure that if you're looking for your missing pet that you're doing posters like this. Don't make the mistake of thinking I've already put flyers all over the place. There's a major difference between a lost pet flyer, which is good to hand out to people or to post on a bulletin board, but to put out a poster, you're using that to capture the attention of people driving through an area. So go ahead and come a little bit closer here because I want to show one more time how I'm securing this. So bring the camera up here. So go ahead and come on up here. Oh, okay. I want to add an angle here so you can see what I'm doing in the back here. All right, so it may be a little jumpy here, but the point is when you go and you're wrapping the tape here, you want to take the tape and push it as far in the back between the poster and the pole as possible, and then you push on your poster. That ends up, if you were to only just wrap the tape like this around the pole, it's not going to work. It's going to come loose. So you don't want any space in here. Again, you want to begin taping on the back of the poster board and then wrap it around. We are using a corrugated campaign sign here to put this poster on. We recommend that you do that so that these are sturdy, because if I was only using the paper, it would make it more difficult. It can be done, but the single paper alone will oftentimes be affected by rain and wind, and they're just more flimsy and more difficult to post like this. So I left that part out and forgot that you need to put either cardboard, or you can find, you know, a campaign sign. We get them donated to Missing Pet Partnership by people that were elected and didn't win, and then we paint over them and then reuse them. So so this is the proper way to affix it to a concrete pole or a metal pole. I want to now turn the camera and show you some examples here that I'm going to talk about. And the first one is an example of taking a poster and taping it to a tree. And I wanted to point out, this is a smaller poster than the large one that I had used. And so it only allows for one sheet protector. And when you use just one sheet protector, we recommend that you use the text, the gray tabby blue harness. I could have put the picture of the cat, but if I tried to put the picture of the cat and the text in there, it would be too cluttered, and I would not be able to get those letters as large as I got them. Those letters on that gray tabby blue harness are in Verdana. Sometimes we use Arial or we use Verdana. They're like 100 to 105 size font, bolded and centered in the middle of the page. If I had tried to cram a picture in there, my font size would probably be down to a 30 or 40 or 50, and it would not be as visible. Again, you're looking for the words, because if I showed a picture of a gray cat in a blue harness, that would get the information across. But if I give the text version, gray tabby blue harness, you can also visualize that. The bright neon color attracts the attention of drivers so that by the time they get close enough, they've already read reward lost cat. So now, John, if you can pan over to the reward lost dog poster in the background there. This is an example. Right now you're about 35 yards away from the poster. This is where by the time that somebody is driving and noticing your poster, they're probably about this far away. Now on the left, I took a version of the same missing dog, a white poodle with a red collar. That and then on the white flyer, I created what most of the time you see on missing pet cases when people think that they're putting out the information about their missing dog. As you can see, no, you can't even read that it's about a lost dog. When you get close enough, the only thing you can really read on that white piece of paper is reward lost dog, but you can't see anything else. You can't tell it's a white poodle with a red collar on the one that's on the left and the sheet protector on the pole. The other thing is, I've seen before where people will put, they won't put they put a flyer out, they don't put it in a sheet protector, and they simply tape it or staple it in the center, and then the wind and rain comes and it curls around, and then by the time you drive by, it's curled over and you can't even read the information at all. But in the mind of that pet owner, they're thinking they're doing the best that they can do to get the information out there, and it just isn't working. So on the right is the method that we recommend that you work on putting out, and that is using a, hey, get out of my shot, is using a campaign sign on an H frame, which is a metal stake that's staked in the ground. And you can also use wooden dowels and hammer them into the ground and make your own posters. But again, getting the large neon poster board from a office supply store, and on the right side putting the picture of the dog or the cat, on the left side the 5+5 55 rule description. If you want to move the camera a little bit closer to right now, you probably or possibly cannot even read the white poodle part, but as a driver would be getting closer to it, you would then be able to read the white poodle red collar. Again, you've already read the reward lost dog part. And then the idea being not cluttering up the poster with needs medication or, you know, disappeared from this location. You are going to be putting these strategically at the major intersections in the area of where your dog is missing. And go ahead and stay there, but I'm going to go and pull the poster and show one more technique. You're going to be putting these posters strategically in the area where the dog went missing at a major intersection so that you capture the attention of people going by. Another technique that you can use these signs for is doing what's called an intersection alert. An intersection alert is when you put the poster and you stand out in front of traffic and do pretty much sign waving. And so that would be, I'd get this information out to people driving by, even though this poodle actually is not missing. But the idea being that as cars are driving by, I'm giving them the information that this poodle is missing and that there's a reward for it, and the description. When you do an intersection alert, you typically would do that at a major intersection near where the dog escaped. You would use 4 to 6 people at your intersection alert, have a volunteer that's at the corner that is there to take notes and hand out flyers. So this is where you would make one of these smaller flyers and hand to people that happen to pull over and ask information, or maybe they want to keep the flyer, or maybe they've seen a white poodle or know who has the dog. We've had many missing dogs, even ones that have been missing for several weeks, that when the owners, when we coached them into using this technique of doing the intersection alert, they went out and they were able to get their dog back because somebody had their dog and they happened to drive by the area where they did the intersection alert. So it can lead to leads and recoveries on missing dog cases even when they've been missing for a while. Again, we want to encourage you, look over our website for a lot of tips. Use the resources that are on there. We have a limited number of volunteers that are available to do phone consultations. You can find our information. Our phone number is 253-529-3999. Again, that's area code 253-529-3999. We will have volunteers assist you when we can. We are a nonprofit organization. We do not have a staff and we are underfunded. We ask for a $50 donation for our phone consultations, but we will help anybody and everybody who calls us. We have a training program to train pet detectives. If you're interested in that, on our website, missingpetpartnership.org, there's a link that says, under Find a Pet Detective, that says training, and you can click on that, and it's an 8-week webinar series where we teach volunteers and people that are going to be going out and doing fee-based lost pet services, pet detectives with equipment and search dogs. And you can, so if you're interested in helping others to do this work, look at that link and see about signing up for the course. But we just want to encourage you, physically your dog is somewhere and your cat is somewhere. Oftentimes they're very close to home or they're picked up by somebody and they didn't travel that far, but somebody knows who has your dog, or somebody, you know, knows what happened to your dog or cat, and so the posters are a critical part in recovering lost pets. Thank you.